a little bit of a three-part series on how to make lasagna mostly from scratch. So the 3 videos are going to be how to make your own ricotta cheese. Next is going to be how to make your own pasta sauce. It's very similar to the one that I made for pizza, except this one we are going to cook down a little bit. And then the last part is going to be the assembly, making an actual lasagna. So, a couple of things we're going to need off the top. We're going to need a half gallon of whole milk preferably. One half gallon of whole milk is going to make about a cup and a half, more or less, about a cup and a half of ricotta. So not very much, it's going to reduce a lot. So if you want to make enough for like a big lasagna, then you probably want to get a whole gallon of milk. We're going to need 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. Make sure you use fresh lemon juice, not from a bottle. We're going to need about a teaspoon of salt. We're going to need a bowl, a colander, and either cheesecloth, or I have these bags. These are for what I use to make yogurt. They're called nut milk bags, so they're what you use to make like almond milk or oat milk. So it's a really, really fine mesh. So we're going to use that to strain all the whey out and leave behind the curds for the cheese. So, first thing we're going to do, we're going to take a large heavy bottom saucepan. You want a heavy bottom so the milk doesn't scorch. We're going to turn that up to medium-high heat. And we're going to pour the milk in there. On medium to medium-high heat. And we're going to let that cook until it starts to simmer. It's going to take a little while. So we're going to take that along with our salt. So we need about a teaspoon of salt. So for me, that's about a full 3-fingered pinch of salt. And I'm using kosher salt, so I'm going to put a little bit extra. I'm going to whisk that together. And we're going to keep the whisk nearby. In fact, I'm just going to leave it in the pot. We want to make sure that we're whisking this pretty often because we don't want the milk to scorch on the bottom, because then you're going to get these little chunks in there. I'm actually going to put that into a rest here, and we're going to let that heat up until it's at a simmer. So we want to come back every couple minutes or so. Just give the milk a whisk. Make sure there's focus and time on the bottom. We want to make sure that the milk that's getting hotter at the bottom of the pot is dispersing throughout, so it's not just scorching and then leaving cold milk at the top. It'll actually boil faster or come to the simmer faster if we mix it every couple minutes, but also it'll keep the milk that's toward the bottom of the pot from scorching. So we just do that every couple minutes. Alright, so we're there. Once the milk starts to simmer, it gets really, really foamy and frothy, so you just gotta kind of keep your eye on it, because otherwise it'll start to boil over on you, and then you got a bigger mess to clean up. So now that that's there, we're gonna shut off the heat, take it off heat, and now we're gonna do 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice in there. 1, 2, and 3. Mix that all together. So we're going to leave that for about a minute or so. Alright, so as you look in there, you'll see, you can't see right now because it's all mixed in. Curds are starting to form because of the acid in the lemon juice. And so now we're going to get those curds. Now I'm going to pour that into my bag here. You can start to see those chunks in there. Everything out of the pot. We don't want to waste one bit. Since right now buying milk is a little bit of an ordeal. Okay, and you'll start to see all that is dripping out is the whey and the leftover acid. So we're just going to let that drip and strain. All right. Now, I'm going to take those curds. I'm going to empty them into a separate bowl there. When I do this with a nut milk bag, I got to be careful because the curds are pretty loose and I don't want to lose them. Yes, I know my minute's up. I'm going to get the spatula, strain those out a little bit more. Just kind of scrape the inside of my bag. If this were cheesecloth, you just kind of scrape the cheesecloth out. Since I'm using the nut milk bag, I just got to scrape the inside of the bag out. Like I said, we don't want to waste any of this. Cool. There's still some liquid in there. Excellent. Oops. And now you can see we've got fresh ricotta cheese. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a lid on it, put some plastic wrap on it, pop it in the fridge for about 3 hours. So this is going to be for dinner for tomorrow night. We're going to make some lasagna. Hope you enjoy.